First out of the gate, Georgia takes care of business. What'd you think about the Georgia and Auburn? We'll kind of move in at first, I guess, because it was a blowout game. But Auburn played them
second half.
admirably the first quarter.
They did. When I kept looking at the stats, I was at a birthday party, and Bennett had thrown for 25 yards forever. That's it. And but they opened up the floodgates in the second half. He did not throw a touchdown again.
Mm-hmm.
And Tank just cannot get going. He had 10 carries for 19 yards.
I've seen that.
I know he's showing a lot of frustration, I'm sure. But second half, I mean, Georgia's a much better team than Auburn. I know Auburn's going to fire their coach one way or the other, but don't fire him over this game because you weren't going to beat them anyway.
They'll fire him over the Ole Miss game next week. 42-10 was the final, and I got to do this. I have to man my word.
What?
This note here, I don't know if y'all can see it. It says Matt is wrong. 10, 8, and 22 at 6:33 a.m.
I was wrong too. I argued with people. Said there's no way they'll beat them about 30.
Signed by your local law officer and the great
30.
Bo Jolly. I had Georgia winning, but I said there's no way. I think they win by 30. 21. 42-10. That was the final lap. Bennett does wind up throwing for 208. No touchdowns.
Again.
Milroe, a second-string quarterback, has passed you for a touchdown passing. 22 for 32, one touchdown rushing. He busted off a 64-yard run. And that was the score right there that kind of leaked it on into getting more to be out of hand.
Georgia's having some red zone issues.
This game's 21-14. And you can go back, please, our YouTube watchers, go back over there and watch that show that I did. I did a special about, just about Georgia's offense. Me and you talking about on the show, I pulled out a clip from that. Auburn's got to go to Ole Miss. So
I just think Georgia's problem is not scoring in the red zone, and I think it's going to bite them in the rear end at some point. And I'll go on record and say it right now, Mike, I'm sorry. I do not think they will win the championship anymore.
I don't think it's nothing new. I think this has been going on at Georgia offense, and I've talked about this a little bit on a locker room maybe. Mm-hmm. This is what it was last year. It's just that it got hid by one of the best college defenses that we'd seen in a long time. It got hid because nobody could score on them. I mean, Auburn scores 10, but, Auburn afterwards for 165. He was 13 for 38. Mm-hmm. He threw one touchdown, had a lot of turnovers. Tank rushed for 52. Hunter had 20.
I thought Tank had 19.
Had 20. And Ashford had 52.
Oh.
Tank had 20, and then Hunter had 73 receiving. Guys, Robinson had 100 on the ground for Georgia. Edwards 80 with 3 touchdowns. Wide receiver McConkey had about 47 yards. So
good.
I think it's been this way. It's just being.
Mm-hmm. Now I don't know why.
It's being brought to light more because they're needing to rely a little more on their offense. Mm-hmm. And where Alabama got into this was probably about the time Kirby left.
Right.
So they were going to have to score more. And when Jalen and them was starting to come in,
right,
they had to score more because their defense just wasn't quite as great because the defense can cover up. It's like putting putty down the side of a car. Mm-hmm. When you're getting ready to do body work on a car, you can hide it with icing and put it down the side of the car, and you sand it and you hide blemishes. Mm-hmm. Well, that defense is gone.
It's gone.
I don't think the offense is very much different. I mean, they did lose receivers, Pickens.
And, Auburn's had this. They did lose Pickens, and they lost Cook, and they lost
White.
But
and it's worse.
They lost Burton.
And it's worse. So not only was the defense covering up.
They're gaining a ton of yards, though. A ton. 500 a game.
They wind up rushing it in when they get down there is what's happening. He's throwing it, but they're throwing it for like screens and 10-yard catches, and all that's happening because they're playing doo-doo teams. He's throwing a 10-yard slant, but they're taking it for 30 more yards, right?
But I hear a lot of Georgia people complaining that these last 3 weeks they've just had a struggle scoring in the red zone. And, playing against Tennessee.
Well, they don't have a rush game, really. Cook and White's gone.
Yeah. Against Tennessee, you can't have that. You can't.
I don't know and that's just what it is.
You can't get inside to the 10-yard line and not score. You got to score touchdowns.
The only thing that's changed is the defense is worse and the offense has lost some of their run game. But see, the defense was so great they could overpower. So when they laid that defense over the top of the team, well, you couldn't tell the offense was bad. You was kind of looking through bars. Does that make sense?
And they may beat Alabama. They may go to the semifinal. But I'm telling you right now, I'll be shocked if Georgia repeats. And I think I said that at the first of the year. But I heard about all their transfers coming in. And, I mean, they're good. There's no doubt about that. I don't see a repeat in them. I'll go on record for that.
I agree. I'm going to bounce this one back to you, Dean. Let's talk about the darn Jayhawks.
Kansas.
Well, you got to talk about this game. Please, guys, if you didn't, please go get the highlight. I promise you, I spent 10 minutes watching a replay this morning. It's great. Tell us about stats of the game over there for...
Well, what's his name didn't... TCU quarterback, what's his name, Max Dunnigan?
Yep, Dunnigan.
Threw for over 300 yards.
I think he's good.
Guys. He's good.
And we got our top 10.
Good.
We're going to do it in a little bit. You may be surprised.
But their quarterback was out.
Yes, Daniels went out.
And Matt...
Hurt his shoulder. They was rubbing his shoulder. But Bean...
Jimmy Bean. No, it wasn't Jimmy. Jane... It was not Jimmy Bean.
It wasn't Jimmy Dean.
But he came in and did fantastic.
He did.
But I tell you what I saw in this ball game, Matt. And you saw it too. We both saw it. We saw some of the most amazing wide receiver play I've seen in any conference.
Dude, I'm telling you.
How many? I'm talking
there
about...
was 4 or 5 outstanding catches.
You got to get it past Matt to me, and I got to catch it before that thing.
Yeah.
That happened 4 times, guys.
Yeah, we're talking about dropping it in like, garbage can size buckets.
This happened 4 times in this ball game.
What he wind up throwing for?
He only ended up throwing for over 2. A little over 2. It wasn't a ridiculous amount.
Daniels had 89 before he left.
Right, before he left.
He had 262, 4 touchdowns and a pick.
But I thought he did great.
I thought he had a great... Skinner, the one that looks... He kind of favors Milk. If y'all know Cedar Bluff people, it's Hurley Henderson. It's Q's boy. He favors him.
Yeah.
Their hair's kind of the same. The skin color's the same. He's like a big version of Milk.
Yeah, yeah.
Skinner had 2 touchdowns for Kansas. Hey, look.
Hey, they're for real.
Dean, 540 total, 351 passing, 189 rushing. Kansas has got a football team.
They have got a good football
They
team.
have a football team.
I mean,
without that quarterback.
Some of these, I think they'll be all right with Bean.
No. You look at the rest of their schedule.
Oh, is it
Yeah,
right?
it's fixing to get bad.
Oh.
It's like Oklahoma State and
Texas.
Baylor. Yes. I think they may have
Maybe
Texas
Daniels
next
is
week.
going to be back. Texas got a good football team.
TCU, Dunnigan, 23 for 33. Kid's from Iowa.
No, he's a good player.
6'2", 210.
He can run the ball, too.
Yes. Miller had 88 running. Dunnigan rushed for 55. And then Johnson had 206 yards receiving.
Wow.
Perry and Foster was your big tacklers. They had 452 total yards, 308 passing, 144 rushing.
So we had 1,000 yards in the TCU Kansas game.
Nobody ever guessed that. Guys, these were undefeated teams.
38-31. Yeah, TCU's in the... I guess we can reveal that.
They're
getting close to the top
I shared
10.
the AP poll. I think they're 13. I think they're 13.
They're fixing to be in the top 10.
Guys, Kansas has got they really have a football team. I didn't believe it till I watched this game. I was like, well, they're just winning. They're playing okie doke. TCU's good.
TCU's good, and you're absolutely right, Matt. I thought, well, this is it. We're going to find out that Kansas is not for real. And we found out
Kansas is good. And they lost 38-31, and we were like...
with their quarterback out.
Here's my good, bad, and ugly.
All right.
Good, bad, and ugly. Good was TCU, Kansas.
Oh, that was great.
The bad is 31-10. Sounds like a score.
Game. I got the stats on it, but that was
Michigan, Indiana. Dean hit us some of that.
They had the numbers. Michigan did 304 passing from McCarthy. He did throw a pick. Corum, Heisman Trophy candidate Blake Corum, had 124 yards. But I can tell you, this game was 17-10 going into the 4th.
Bad for Michigan.
And Indiana's not a great football team.
They're
not. They're average at best.
222 total yards, guys. Indiana rushed for 20 yards.
No. Had 222 total.
Come on, man. Yeah.
20 yards.
And Lucas was 45 with that. Bazelka, 200 yards. So they're not good.
And Michigan had the yards. So turnovers hurt Michigan. They
470 total.
Once. Yeah, he threw an interception. McCarthy is a good quarterback. I think he's going to be their man now.
That was the bad.
All right, what was the good?
The good was TCU, Kansas.
Oh, what was the
bad
ugly?
was Michigan, and the ugly was Bama and A&M. Todd, please tell me about this game, and I'll give you some analogies of why these things are going on.
All right, so let's just do the breakdowns on the stats right now. Only 317 yards for Texas A&M, which I told somebody last night. I think Jonathan McGath was talking about that's too much. And I agree, Alabama usually doesn't give out that much. But in the grand scheme of things, that's not a lot of yards. They held a chain in check. Hayes King played great. And Alabama had 400 yards. Gibbs, 154 rushing. Milroe, 83 rush, 111 pass. But that's the stat that killed them. One of the stats that killed them. They had two stats kill them. 111 yards passing. Matt, that's not going to cut it. And you know the main stat that's going to kill them.
Turnovers.
4 turnovers.
A&M never led this game.
4 turnovers.
They
That's
tied
the only
it.
reason they were in it.
They tied it.
Mm-hmm.
They tie the game there to kind of their last real score, I guess, sort of. With a trick play, throw back across the field. Jimbo knew that he was outgassed. He's outmanned.
I'm going to check their final numbers. Go ahead.
These guys have a good football team. A&M's not terrible. They're really young. But A&M scored off of the first 2 turnovers for Bama.
Right.
Guys, we missed 2 field goals and turned the ball over 4 times. Yes, and the reason why Bama give it away, they did give it away. There's no reason they should have won that game. They gift-wrapped it perfectly and beautiful, put a bow right on top and a big old sweet kiss to said, here's the ball 4 times and we're going to miss 2 field goals. That's 20 points. They spotted A&M 20 points. So that's why I would say something like, hey. They gift-wrapped it and they just almost give it to them. Because it's like, okay, who wants to spot any football team 20 points? Here's 20. Good luck on the day. And y'all beat us last year. And all during the offseason, the coaches had crap to say about each other. So now the kids are all kind of riled up. So this game had much more hype built into it than what anybody really wants to talk about.
Right.
Honestly. But A&M coming there, you can't let these freshman linemen come in there and whoop your tail if you're Alabama. Right. You can't do that. It's just it's impossible to do. Well, the field goal missing blows me away.
The turnovers. And I'm going to say this. I'm not. You know me. I'm not a confrontationist. But so what if it makes you mad? They shouldn't have won. I don't care if you get mad or not.
Well, yeah, because they don't change my life.
Face reality. 2 missed field goals. Those are like turnovers.
Yeah.
Do you not realize that Alabama had 6 turnovers?
Yeah.
Those are turnovers.
Yeah.
They're not counted as turnovers,
right.
But they are.
Because they give the ball right back to them. It's a turnover on downs.
They had 6 turnovers. No, they should not have won. They dominated this game. If it hadn't been for the turnovers,
yeah,
it would have been. And I don't care if somebody gets mad. What are you watching?
Yeah, well, Vegas had it picked right. Without the turnovers, if you play a normal football game, Alabama wins this game 36-16,
yes.
36,
yes.
something like
Without
that.
The turnovers, the 2 made field goals, that's 30-20.
Yeah.
Let's take away 1 turnover. It's still 37-20.
Yeah, Alabama spotted them 20 points. Look,
man, the yards. King was 25 for 46. That's only a little over 50%. A chain, the fastest back in the country. Less than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, he's an All-American runner, in case you don't. If you just tune in and watch Alabama for 3 or 4 hours on a Saturday, then you probably don't know a lot about football. If you don't watch any other games,
right,
then you probably don't know a lot.
Well, the only stat I see that jumps out at me that Alabama didn't do well in, besides the turnovers, was passing. He didn't throw for a lot of yards, but they rushed for 288. So 110% without a doubt. Let's quit calling it 4 turnovers. It was 6. And I'll give Rashard credit. He's made everything he's ever kicked at Alabama till last night. I don't know what happened. They had 6 turnovers.
Let's talk about that last play that Johnny Manziel seemed to have a problem with Jimbo about. And Jimbo
I thought it was weird.
Jimbo probably could tell him to go jump in the water because Johnny Manziel can't even take care of his own life. Why does he need to be questioning the head coach of a football team? If he thinks he can do it, Johnny, quit drinking. Hope you're sober. That's great, man. Sober October. Then, go find you a job coaching somewhere and work your way up to the ranks.
I think he'd be a good coach.
Yeah, hit it, man. Go get it.
Get into it. But I have to agree with Johnny.
I do too.
But Coach Short, who I respect
absolutely,
admirably, I'm very admirable of him, admire him. said it was not a bad play. And Jimbo kind of it's a pylon play. You run to the pylon.
But he come back out of the end zone.
He come back out of the end zone, and
if he catches it, it's down at the
two,
maybe one or two. Well, with no time on the clock.
It had to have been run.
Why didn't they run a fade?
I don't know.
Throw a little timing route over in the corner.
I know they throw. I don't understand.
Or run a trick play, run a double reverse, or I don't know. Like here's the thing. A&M had nothing to lose.
No.
0.
So what if they intercept it?
So what if they pick it off and take it back? Alabama's supposed to beat them 50-0. I'm just kidding, but
they were supposed to beat them by half that.
23.5, 24, 3 touchdowns. So
I'm very confused by it.
I think it was an odd play call.
What did Manziel say?
I didn't even pay attention to it. He's the kind of person. Those kind of people, you don't argue with them because they don't. You're not going to win an argument. With some people in general, especially know-it-alls like him.
The only thing I don't like about it, and as an Alabama fan, you get a play like that at the end, and you get people that aren't for Alabama, and it's almost like
they're excited about it.
Yeah, but that's kind of a setup, isn't it? Did they just throw the ball game? He didn't. You mean they had a 4th and 2, a 2nd and 2 with 3 seconds left, and he threw an out route to the curl route to the 1 yard line? I mean, it looked like there was no effort to score. Mm-hmm. And I know that's not what happened. You know that's not.
Well, there's conspiracies that think that Saban and them just built up all this argument just to sell tickets to the game.
And Saban called down there at the end. I mean, there could be conspiracy. Saban told them at the end, don't put this in right here. I know that's out there.
Yeah, but there's people that think that the argument this summer was just to build climactic to sell tickets. But
I'm sitting there watching, I'm like, and I'm not even excited that they won. I'm like, what are they doing?
Yeah, it's bad play.
They didn't even try.
Well, here's another problem we got.
Okay.
Saban screamed into his headset for 2 weeks, run the ball. Mm-hmm. Why are we still throwing the ball on 3rd and 2?
They did run it more.
Yeah, and successfully. Mm-hmm. But on situations it's 3rd and 2, they're throwing the ball again.
Yeah, he still did it.
Yes. Still did it.
I know they
like we ran the ball. That last score, we run the ball all the way down the field. Bang, boom, 10, 9, 20, 14, 8, 7, 6, 4, 10. We get down there, and what does he do? He throws the ball.
He throws it. I don't know. He's just addicted to throwing, Matt. He's just
there's no
51
order.
Run plays to 19 this week.
Yeah, there was no order in it's not that the ratio is right, but see that misrepresents of what I'm saying.
It does.
But
you have look at that and you say, "No, we run more. Shut up. What are you talking about?"
Watch the game and you can see on situations like a 3rd and 2 or 2nd and 2.
Yeah.
We're trying to throw the ball on,
and you're averaging 5 and 6 yards.
You're getting 6 yards a carry. It's like, I mean, we'll use 5 for example because they run the ball a lot. And it's like Coach Benefield just running all the way down there and get down to 10. I think I'll just throw it right now. He's not going to do that. No. He's going to do what got him there.
Right.
Jeez, guys, come on, Coach O'Brien. Now, Goldberg to stop A&M. Mm-hmm. I thought it was pretty good effort, but my player of the game is King.
Oh, yeah.
The losing, Matt, what are you, some kind of idiot?
Well, he was under so much pressure.
Why would you give the player of the game to the losing quarterback?
Uh-huh.
Guys, was his stats great? Go over there, rewatch the highlight game. You need to watch the whole game probably because
he was under a lot of pressure.
Every snap.
I'm not talking about mental pressure.
Every snap. He was getting pushed on the ground or somebody would bump into him or he was slammed down. Every play, that kid, I told you, got up and fought. I like that.
He got hit hard.
I like it. Yeah. What a tough guy.
And I will say this, that could have been some of the reason that last play occurred.
Let's see, Coach Short, he's got some. The receiver should have ran 2 yards deeper. Exactly right. Okay. That's what we're thinking.
So that's what it is. It's just, go deep.
No, I mean, he runs up to the right inside the goal line, turn and comes out. What is that going to do? He run the wrong route. What's Mr. Marky Mark? That's not really what you're talking about, but it says something about the team that it's having a bad game, killing themselves, but still find a way to win. It is. It is a good example.
What's that? What did he say again? I'm sorry.
Just a way to when you're having a bad game, but you still find a way.
Oh yeah, that's a good team.
Yeah, it is, and
that's a mark of a good team.
And it was big of Bryce to encourage him constantly. Through the good and through the bad, he'd tell him, hey, man, get your head up. We give that game away. There was reasons, 6 turnovers.
Yeah, basically.
So you spotted A&M 20 points, and you still found a way to win it. I mean, it was at home with a guy that's never started a college football game. And he threw 3 touchdowns, which ties the record. Most people don't know.
For a freshman.
Here's a little tidbit. The last other guy that I know that started his first start at Alabama that threw 3 touchdowns was Joe Namath.
Who?
So that's good company to have. So our point is, what we're aggravated about is Bama almost give the darn game away, and we're not real happy of how they're playing right now, and the polls are not either. They've moved them down 2 spots from 1 to 3, and that's what we're saying. No, we're not just fans of that team. We watch a lot of games, and we have been for a long time. If they want to win, don't call them Alabama, call them Shabaka State. If Shabaka State played that game and won 24-20 with the players that Shabaka College has.
Chewbacca College.
So Chewbacca, if they want to win, they better get their act together. Because next week they're going to make a trip. And it's been since I was 12. 1989, when these teams were both undefeated, ranked the way they are, sort of, and going to match up, East and West. This is big. And Tennessee fans, we watch it on here, we see it on here. You can see it on Twitter. If you're on Twitter, find us up there, look at the top of your screen, at Big Matt 1977. You find us, the Matt Todd Show. They're jumping over there. Twitter's hopping.
Oh, gosh, it's going to be a
Tennessee, this week.
It's going to be a tough environment.
It's Tennessee hate week, and it's Alabama hate week. So if you're looking for a good Alabama football game to be included in, because that's the only games that a lot of people just watch Alabama games. We're critiquing how they're playing because that's what we do. We're supposed to critique, break down the fine tunes of why they did this and why they did. We're not just random fans saying, well, they won, a win's a win. Absolutely. And we'll take it as fans, but as people that do
that's
this.
That's not going to hold up in the end.
As a side hustle, this is what we do. We got a lot of stuff here. I've spent hours, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, of doing this, taking notes, watching games. I had 2 games going yesterday, 3 at one time. Chewbacca College, just scratched the name Alabama off the list. They better get ready this weekend.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Tennessee's for real. Let's talk about that game. Wow. That hurry-up offense. It's
Tennessee,
pretty deadly, isn't it?
LSU. We expected them to go down there and win. I don't think it was not an upset. I think what was an upset was it got out of hand.
It did.
A little worse than what we thought it would.
Yeah, I didn't think it would. Got out of hand quick.
Hooker winds up throwing for 240 yards, those 2 touchdowns.
He's my Heisman Trophy candidate.
Yeah, and I got some list here, some quarterbacks you want to talk about. That's what it is. The Vols just go down in the swamp and just took care of business. And Coach Kelly, just kind of said, well, it was what it was, and we're going to kind of, hang on, and we're going to do the best we can. And they have on LSU next week. We're going to go. Y'all don't leave yet, because we're fixing to go through the games where we was wrong and where we was right, and we're going to do next week's picks.
Okay.
And we're going to give our top 10. Now,
I'm making a change to mine.
Oh, I done got them on here. I can't change it.
Okay.
I lock them in.
Well, I'll say what I think. For right now. Mine's for right now.
Here's the game. We're all let down from this. Dean's got more in this game. But I just want to say, mentally, Coach Pittman,
oh, man.
we're with you. We like him. He was our coach of the year last year. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. Seemed like the loss to Bama just crushed their spirit. Well, we lost to Alabama, so we're done this year.
I think the A&M loss crushed their spirit.
Something's happened. 40-17.
40-17.
The Hawgs take a L. Dean, tell us more about this game. And tell me something make me feel good.
Well, Jefferson didn't play. But Hornsby filled in for him and had 348 yards of offense. And Poole and Sanders had 29 tackles, Matt. Sanders had 16. Poole had 14.
That's
30 tackles. Yeah.
That's pretty good numbers.
Mississippi State, 568 yards. Arkansas, 483. Rocket Sanders again had 86. Rogers threw for 395. You man, Will Rogers 395. It's just they can't stop him. They cannot stop him.
Yeah, he was my highlight player last week.
When your two inside linebackers have to make 30 tackles, you're on the field a lot.
Yeah. He's money, dude. Mississippi State is. I'm telling you. I think in the AP, I've got the AP.
They're for real.
Written down right here. Mississippi State being is at 16. Mm-hmm. That's not a bad ranking. I'd probably have them at 15, but
I was wrong about Leach.
Kentucky's went to 20 down to 22.
Yeah, Kentucky. Well,
that's another team.
Was out too.
Yeah.
Levis didn't play. I thought that score was shocking until I found that out.
So what's up with the Hawgs? What?
I think it's because
they just got to get their quarterback back.
Yeah, but they're giving up a lot of yards, man. I mean, 555 to Alabama, 568 to Mississippi State. I mean, 560. I mean, that's 1,100 yards in 3 weeks. In 2 weeks.
It's not surprising, but against those two teams, that's not surprising, is it?
That's a lot of yards.
I mean, but is it though? Against them. I mean, it's Bryce Young, and then Rogers is he's leading the country in the most 300-yard passing games. He has more 300-yard passing games than anybody.
Well, I think a lot of it's Jefferson being out too,
and
not being 100%. Jefferson's not 100%.
That gives their other team more time with the ball.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're gaining yards. They're just not stopping people. They're not slowing them down.
And if the other team is going, down the field in a few plays, the defense out there, well. Then when the Arkansas defense comes out, people are just scoring on them.
Yeah, 1,123 yards, Matt, and 89 points in 2 weeks.
If the offense is not clicking and checking, if they're going just get a first down or two, well, the defense is we're back out there again.
Right.
That's the problem.
And he's trying to run the ball. They're running the ball a lot. They're gaining yards.
He was methodical against Bama on that run.
Yeah, they gained 377 against that. They're averaging 430 yards a game in the last 2 weeks, and they're 2-0 and hadn't even come close to winning. That's how bad the defense. Whatever's going on with the defense, that's how bad it is.
Have you noticed the quarterback? We've talked about in a few games here now, guys, fans. Inside linebacker made,
What did he say? 30 tackles.
Yeah, 30 tackles in one game. Yeah, both of them together did.
Yeah. Poole and Sanders, 30 tackles, which is amazing. But that shows you that they had to be out there. Can you imagine how tired they were?
He learned to hate Tennessee when he played at Maryville.
That's in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, you can't like them, though. You can.
Yeah. They must have. Oh, he probably heard about them all the time.
Yeah. You never get no love.
Oh, gosh. He was there when Manning was there, too.
Yeah.
And T. Martin. So, yeah, I could see. I mean, that's all he heard was how great Tennessee was.
Yeah.
Because Tennessee was a lot better than Bama then.
Yeah, no, tackles for a game at Coosa Christian, Mark. Coosa Christian went to Gatlinburg Pittman, and Cleet had 20. 21, actually, but solo.
Well, most I've ever heard of is 33. A guy from Jack State made 33.
So, Cleet to make 20 tackles.
Yeah,
I don't know if you're playing the school of the deaf. I mean,
that's good. And 20 tackles is good if you're playing Brent Hutchins' flag league over there.
It is.
I mean, 20 hits in a ball game?
Yeah, some of that quarterback's out.
Mm-hmm. Oh, gosh, there's a tough
Levis is out. The Vanderbilt quarterback, I thought Wright was the guy, and then he's not. Now he's just in the rotation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure Vandy had an adequate game. They played Ole Miss.
Yeah, played them all right till the fourth.
Played them okay, 52-28. Dart throwed for 450 yards.
God,
52-28, though. Guys, this ain't the same Vandy.
No, they're a little better.
That's the better.
They're better.
Levis is out. Johnson, A&M out. We talked about
out
that.
For the year.
Hooker, 242, went through that. Ohio State, we fixed to get 361. 6 touchdowns for Stroud, Ohio State.
Wow.
Williams at USC, 188 with 2 touchdowns. Young is out. Georgia quarterback Bennett, he's very choppy. He's up and down. He had 208 yards today. He's
not throwing picks, but he's not throwing touchdowns either.
It's because he's not good.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same quarterback. They're like, we're losing because he's – no, it's not. They're winning games because their defense could cover that up.
Mm-hmm.
And it can't quite cover it up now. Now this year people are seeing it. They're going, hey, wait a minute. It was the same way, guys, last year. It was the same thing. You just hit it because you had a big blanket of defense. Now you just got a little bitty baby.
But he is their best quarterback.
Yeah, because the other one left and went to West Virginia. And the man is back. Dean, tell us about the Red River rivalry. Quinn Ewers, 289, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick, 17 rushings.
You know how many yards?
49 to nothing.
Oklahoma had less than 200 yards, man.
For the day?
Yes.
No. Rushing?
Total. Oh, some bad problems going on in Oklahoma.
Tell me more about that game.
Well, it was just a blowout. Gabriel was out.
Yes, he took
So that
concussion
didn't help
protocol,
matter.
which is safe.
I mean, they threw for about 50 yards, man. Robinson had 130. Ewers had 289.
Guys,
That's only his third game. It was just awful.
they were 15 minutes apart, Mark says, and no other school meant anything to UT fans. They wouldn't support the less. They wouldn't support the smaller schools in the area.
Oh, just UT. Huh?
Well, like you said, though, I mean, you're there when Peyton Manning was there. I mean,
Yeah, Peyton Manning. Oh,
T.
gosh.
Martin. That's the year they won the national championship. 98.
98.
With the
Then
BCS.
before that, you had Manning for 4 years,
Yeah.
and they were just good through there. I liked watching them play.
Yeah.
This team reminds me of a lot of those teams.
And it is going to be that way. And if they carry that pole down the street Saturday, guys,
God, that place is going to be raucous.
I
Is
thought
that
about-
a word? That's a word. Yeah, raucous.
I would like to be up there just to see,
Oh, gosh.
just to tailgate, not even go in the game.
Just go hang out.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that was not a bad idea.
man, that would be awesome.
What are you doing? Going to Knoxville? Y'all going to the game? No. We're just going to hang out outside the stadium.
Yeah, I mean, you could go to one of the restaurants down there in town, just eat, grab a cheeseburger and a cold
We're
drink,
going to do
and
that.
watch it on
one year.
TV.
Not this year, but one year we're going to do
Yeah,
that.
when you get done coaching, where you're more free,
Mhm.
we're gonna do that for real.
Yeah. I mean, that's... And the times I go through Knoxville all the time, and I've never been by Neyland Stadium. We're going up through there tomorrow. I may see if Mom wants to run by Neyland Stadium.
Just kind of drive around by it.
Well, we can't... Yeah. Well, you won't go there when the game's going on.
So that's the check marks. Our Heisman kind of watch quarterback list. I guess Williams and
I still got Sanders, Hooker.
Stroud, Hooker, and Williams, which is Tennessee, Ohio State, USC.
Stroud's doing pretty good.
Now,
3 cents.
here's the thing. Here's a guy that just wait till this year's kid gets rolling.
Oh, man, he's good.
Yeah, I'm telling you guys, you better keep your eyes open
He
out there.
is not... I think he's exactly what they said he was.
Oh yeah,
I thought
Oklahoma.
there was too much hype, but
No, yours is
apparently
great.
there's not.
Oklahoma played like 4 or 5 different quarterbacks.
Yeah, and threw for 55 yards.
When I rolled
think.
through the thing and it was like all them names, I was like, wait a minute, what
Oh,
is
yeah,
that?
they
So I looked back and I was like, so that's the ones that played? Mm-hmm. Bevel, Turk, Gray, and some guy. So they played every quarterback.
Yeah, they did.
Now here's an interesting question. We'll post this out here to the audience. Guys, what do y'all think about, does Oklahoma boosters and bunch now see and think, maybe we should have got Heifel? Did we really mess up getting Venables? He's a defense guy, but is he really a good coach? Can he recruit? Because obviously Heifel can. And look what
doing good.
look what he's done at Tennessee. Now, some people that don't cover it a lot are saying, "Matt, why would you say the Tennessee coach? Why would the Oklahoma boosters be upset about that?" Well, because he was a Heisman finalist. He was a quarterback at Oklahoma.
Yeah, on their national
2000
championship team, I think.
1, 2, or 3, right in there.
I think it's 2000. Yeah.
That may be a question. Do you think that is a question?
Well, possibly.
I mean,
but
I'm sure-
Riley was still there then.
They're sitting around the table, and I'm just would about bet that somebody would say, "Man,
But it's almost like you don't say, look,
Dang,
gosh,
Larry.
you be ready if Lincoln Riley ever leaves.
dang, Larry, we should have. Why didn't we get him? Bert, Ron, the other guy across the table, cigar guy.
Well, they could have got him from Tennessee.
I don't know. Why did we not get him? Why did we not go promote? Why did we not go? And they may have called him. I don't know.
They could have. He just said, no.
No, I'm good right here. But he left out of there. Remember, there was some bad feelings when they kind of left out of there. So I think that has something to do with it. But that's an interesting question.
Yeah, he wouldn't be. He's done great. He's done great at Tennessee. I've never heard a Tennessee fan say anything negative about him. And the only thing I've heard other people say negative about him is he's overweight, which, I mean, that's silly. We're all overweight.
Yeah, me especially.
I mean, is that the best you got? You're overweight,
fat,
fatty,
fat. Well, that don't bother me, bro. I see myself every day.
He used to say that Fulmer. Fat Phil.
Yeah, I can lose weight, but you're ugly, and you'll always be ugly. So, I mean, that's just...
Fat Phil was great, or what they called him. I never called him Fat Phil.
I did. I'm fat. I can call somebody fat. Then let's hit them with the top 10.
All right.
Let's talk about our top 10. Now, the AP top 10, before we do theirs, and listen, now y'all can believe us, and I'm sure you do. Y'all think we're pretty honest guys. Okay, we're back there. We did our top 10 before the AP top 10.
Mm-hmm.
So these are not based off the AP. And this is yours. We'll put it up there first.
Okay. I know I said I didn't think Georgia would win it, but this is as of right now, guys.
How they played.
I still do not think Georgia will win it. But I got them first, Ohio State 2, Bama 3. I kind of toss a coin on that one. I think that could go either way. Still got Michigan 4. Oklahoma State, I'm sticking with them at 5. Clemson, USC. USC has not been playing good, Matt. They've gone downhill. Not a lot, but a little bit. 8, Tennessee. 9, Ole Miss. I told Logan I would move Tennessee into the top 10, and I did.
Yeah, they're definitely. AP, they're 6.
Yes,
AP.
they got them at 6. 9, Ole Miss, and 10, Penn State. I guess outside looking in would be TCU, UCLA.
Yeah, I would have on mine.
North Carolina State.
I'm going to have outside looking in probably Oregon and Utah, which they're going to lock up. I got some stuff about that we'll talk about. My list, I like Ohio State 1. They're slamming everybody like they're supposed to on these cupcake doo-doo teams. Georgia, they're getting it back together. I guess the win to pull away in the last half against Auburn won them some time. Ugalet's playing good. Clemson's defense has been better. I like them in there.
They're good.
They're taking care of business. Alabama stumbling and bumbling. I'm not moving them out. They'll be 4 or 3 for the rest of the year unless they beat Tennessee. So if they beat Tennessee even close at home, I'll have to see how these number 1 and 2 does.
I kind of got Alabama at 3 if Milroe's the quarterback. If Young comes back, I would shift them to 2. That's kind of how I look
I got to see how they play this weekend. Now, of course, if they lose to Tennessee this weekend, I'm going to put them probably at 5. I won't move them back in the I don't think I'm moving them back in the top. How can I put them in the top 4 if you lost to the East?
Right.
Now, they could still win the West and play for the West title and may repeat to play Tennessee a second time if Tennessee beats Georgia. And I got USC at 5. I like how they're playing right now. Williams is smoke, man. He's just
he's good.
He's playing great. They got good receivers. They got a good line.
Yeah, good running back from Oregon.
2 good receivers, Williams and
they got Williams and Addison. Yeah, Mario Williams is good now.
And the question is, and why I put USC at 5, I think USC probably could beat any of those teams under them.
Possibly. Yes, I could agree with that.
On the neutral
I've got
side.
them a little lower, but
on the neutral side. That's why I got Bama at 4. I think Bama could beat the teams under them. I got Tennessee at 6. I mean, like how they're playing. The AP actually had them at 6 too.
Right.
We don't look at the AP before we do ours.
No, we didn't have no idea.
Oklahoma State, they're playing good. They got some games coming up. We're fixing to get into that. Michigan at 8. Khaki Pants, I'm tired of talking about them. I'm not moving them. I'm fixing to move them out of the top 10.
I still got them in the 4, but I'm seriously thinking about it. I just don't know.
It's just how they played Indiana. I mean, you can't play close to Indiana. Ole Miss at 9. They're hanging around. They won the game. They played Vandy kind of close, but they won it pulling away, scoring over 50. It is what it is. New to the list.
Horned Frogs.
TCU. I like TCU. I think the Dunham kid, he's a good quarterback. And I know you're probably laughing and you're thinking, well, they played, Kansas. Guys, Kansas was they were undefeated. Unless you've watched Kansas, don't knock them until you watch this team. TCU beat a good Kansas. Now, I'm not saying that they could roll out here and blow up Bama or Georgia. I don't know. Depending on how they got the quarterback, depending if Alabama don't turn the ball over. And depending on what quarterback, still a no touchdown throwing Bennett Guys, they're not. How is the SEC teams going to beat these big teams and their quarterback can't even throw a touchdown?
Nah, I don't.
And Alabama don't even have a quarterback.
Right. And I mean, Alabama, Young's got to come back for them to make a run at it. That's just my personal opinion, which I think he will be.
Yeah. Georgia, I think they just didn't play them this weekend because A&M is so bad. And what, Matt? What? Idiot. They only lost before. A&M's garbage. Bama spotted them 20 points because of 6 turnovers.
Yeah, and still won.
With a bunch of freshmen.
And the reason we're saying 6 is because of the 2 missed field goals.
Yeah, because you give them the ball. When they miss the field goal, you know where the ball goes? They don't spot it down there at the 1. They give them the ball back right there where he kicked it from.
Mm-hmm. I thought, did they move it to the 20? Somebody said they moved it to the 20. Is that right, Coach?
I hadn't heard that.
In high school, to be honest with you don't see a lot of missed field goals.
Yeah,
but you don't. He's right. You don't get it at the 1.
Yes, no. This is a turnover. They get the ball back.
It's a wasted.
If you make the field goal, you get to kick to them. But they didn't. They missed 2.
Yeah, it's the same as a turnover.
AP top, Georgia, Ohio State, Bama, Clemson. So they like Georgia playing Clemson, Ohio State playing Bama. If that game went down this weekend, I like Ohio State, and Clemson and Georgia would be probably be a pick 'em for me, honestly, if that's how it went down right now. Michigan at 5, they like khaki pants. Tennessee Vols at 6, USC at 7, Okie State at 8, Ole Miss at 9, and Penn State round out the top 10. I had Penn State at my 10 last week, but I'd probably have them at 11 and then have Oregon. I almost put Oregon at 10.
Yeah,
I had it typed in there,
great.
And I had to race it out.
Have you seen his stats?
Yeah.
He's got nearly 2,000 yards.
Yeah, that's an interesting. Oh yeah, Pitt, ACC team Pitt. Abaconda. 6 touchdowns, 360 yards, breaks Tony Dorsett's record. They beat Virginia Tech 45-29. I had to say something about that. Abaika, yeah.
Oh, I was going to tell you that Smith, Jigba, he's just week to week.
I know. I did read something today that said they're just, okay, next week you'll play. And the next week comes, they say, well, it's going to be next week.
Well, they've got 2 receivers doing great.
But their record that I've seen,
they need him back.
We're fixing to do our next week's stuff.
Okay.
Are
they not needing him yet?
No, they're off this week.
Well, they're going to be tough if they get him back with Bouquet and
so is
Marvin Harrison.
Oregon and Ohio State, I think, they're playing bye. But when they come back,
college team too.
They're pretty good. They even got a pro team. How about that?
All levels. Hey, there we go.
JK
Come on, Lamar, break it.
0-0.
He's on the fantasy team.
So, yes, Utah and UCLA, guys, what a big, huge win. Pac-12 football, it's not been great. I think we're excited about Pac-12 football because it just hadn't been really good.
And it is this year.
Yes, it's been a real 32-42.
Wow.
UCLA takes the win. Thompson Robinson for 318 for 23, 4 touchdowns and 1 pick. Running back, Charbonnet, 200 yards, 1 touchdown.
He's played for Michigan. That's what I heard. UCLA's quarterback's good.
Yeah.
He's very good.
UCLA is they're stinking around. They're going like Miss Top. Look, I'm fixing to tell you about their next game. There's some good games going down. It's because they're so close in competition. They're good games. Rising was 23 for 32, 287. Thompson had 91. Rising rushed for 60. Now Ohio did beat Michigan State 49-20. And like we said earlier, Stroud passed for like 600 yards.
Yeah, I saw where Harrison and Bouquet both had over 100 yards receiving. They got some studs up there. They got some good players.
Just to mention
Notre Dame, wow, big win.
28-20. I'm not a Notre Dame.
BYU was ranked
I just
16.
wanted to mention that game. Nothing real spectacular. Brown run for 90 for BYU. Payne 262 with 3 touchdowns. I mean, that's worth mentioning. Diggs had 19. 93 yards on 17 catches on rushing, and Meyer had over 118 for Notre Dame. Well, you got to mention Notre Dame.
Yeah, they're fixing to probably jump back in the top 25.
Yeah, and
lower top 25.
And by the way, congratulations to James Madison on breaking the top 25.
Really?
Yeah, number 25, James Madison. Let's see here.
Huh. Wow.
Yes, Utah they're my number 12. They're number 4 in the Pac-12. Oregon, they're my number 11. They're number 3 in the Pac-12. Oregon on the 22nd will play UCLA at home Huge game.
Ooh, big.
The Ducks will play Halloween weekend. They'll be at Cal. And then 1st of November, 19th, they'll host. Ducks will host Utah.
Well, the thing about Oregon and Utah when it comes to USC and UCLA is they can play the spoiler on both of those if they don't watch out.
Guys, these are some good games.
Hey, this UCLA USC might be the biggest matchup they've had in a long time.
If you just like football,
Chip Kelly getting it done.
these are good games. Put me on record. Tennessee gives Saban his first and probably only loss to the Vols, 38-34. Wow.
All right, we got you
Let
there.
me see. Let me write it down. Where's our this week's games? Let me write it down. I'm going to write it down right here.
Come on, Lamar.
Logan has 38-34 floppy top.
Can I ask you one question? Logan, answer this.
Let's
Is
see,
Lamar Jackson the best running quarterback ever?
No. That's easy now. Don't use that every word. That sounds like Marcus and him.
You don't think he's better? You don't think
He's great.
You don't think?
How
he's
about great? I'll agree to that. I don't say
Okay.
best ever.
So you don't think he's better than Vic?
Oh, God, man. Vic's the best ever. It's just an age thing. Maybe it was because
Yeah, I agree.
he's the greatest to me because I was young, I guess, and impressionable. Does that make sense?
Right.
And I've just never. I mean, he would just take a game. Lamar does too.
Oh, he does. He does.
I like Randall Cutting.
Randall Cunningham was great.
Bro,
Great
I
guy.
think it's because I was so amazed because I was young. If
Yeah.
I watched Randall Cunningham, if I was 30 back then, does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay, he made it.
3-0, Ravens over the
Ravens
Bengals.
over the Bengals.
If I was 30 and watched Randall come on the scene, I'd probably be like, well, he's pretty good. But when I was like,
No.
14, I'm like, holy crap, who's this guy for the Eagles? I wanted to pull over and
he
the
was
hat.
good. He was good. There's
I
no
like
doubt
him.
about
Lamar's great. Let's see. I think that's kind of all the college stuff. Let's go back through
Oh,
here.
you
We'll
gonna
talk
check
about
our
quarterbacks, and we're going to do our last week's games. And make sure we cover everything. Marion County stuff, high school, TCU,
that. Wow, Horned Frogs back in the top 10.
khaki pants,
Or close to the top 10.
Utah, UCLA. Yeah. This is next week's games, and we'll
We're going
do.
to pick them before we pick, or we're going to see how
We'll
we
do.
did.
Yeah, and we didn't do great.
No, did we not?
No.
We had 2 weeks. 1 week there where we didn't miss one.
All right, we had Tennessee on LSU.
We won.
We had Texas over Oklahoma.
Did we both have it?
We had Arkansas over Mississippi State.
2-1.
We had Georgia over Auburn.
3-1.
We had Bama over A&M.
4-1.
We had North Carolina State over Florida State.
5-1.
Okie State over Texas Tech.
6-1.
And we had Kentucky over South Carolina.
6-2.
And then Utah dumped the egg against UCLA.
6-3.
So we went up 6-3.
Yeah.
So tell me what. Well, we talked about Kentucky, South Carolina. They won the game, but I'm just saying I want to see how they're going to bounce back. And
I
we're
just
going to
think
talk
they
about
won the
that.
game because
South Carolina won because Levis didn't play.
I don't want to take nothing away from them
I
because you
will.
still got to line up and play.
Well, I mean,
Yes, I think that's
Spencer
all.
Rattler's not better than Levis.
No. And they didn't have great stats.
No,
I'm talking about South Carolina.
I know. Yeah, no.
No, they didn't have 500 yards.
And Utah, they just run to a buzzsaw.
Oh, man, UCLA, wow.
I agree, Mark. I like Mill Road, Alabama. Mark,
Yeah, I mean, he can run the ball.
Dude, he tied a record with Joe Namath.
Mm-hmm.
First start, 3 touchdowns. That is worth something. We're just critiquing because that's what we do. But people that like Alabama get aggravated with us because we're critiquing. But now we just critiqued Kansas deeply. But nobody's saying nothing about that.
Yeah.
We just critiqued them how they lost the game. But nobody cares about Kansas. But people that are around here,
They take it personal.
they take it personal. Well, this is kind of our job.
We have no idea.
We kind of make
why.
a little bit of, we don't make money like we're retiring from work, but we make a little side scratch, like enough to get gas to go to the game or get a meal on a Friday night. This is what we do. So we're critiquing Alabama, and y'all guys are fans, and we're also fans, but I have to watch with an open eyes and then take in all the information, then lay it out and say, now here's what it is, and here's what it was, and that's what it could be.
That's
Here's
just
what they
part of
shouldn't have
having
done. Here's what they
college
did
podcast.
do. Yes, we do a college podcast.
You can't be a homer.
Nobody else does. We can't just come on here and say, well, Alabama got the win. Next. All right, moving on. Let's talk about Texas, Oklahoma. No. Well, you're a fan. You just can't talk about Alabama. No, we're going to critique them because it's kind of what we do. It is what we do. And if you're a fan of them and it bothers you that we can just say, they had no reason to win that game. And that bothers you. I'm sorry you take it personal, but the good Lord's good, and the sun's going to rise the next day. If Alabama loses or wins, or the team falls off the face of the earth.
Yeah, unfortunately, it rises.
It's going to come up. So, yes, we went 6-3, and don't be surprised. That'd be a big X. Boy, it was close.
They did play them good for a while.
It was close. And that was from last week.
What we got coming up? Let's pick Keith Higgins.
Coming right ahead. Big Ten, number 3 and number 1 in the East. Big.
Penn State versus Michigan. Man, I'm going to go out on a big limb here.
Now, see, I thought...
I'm picking Penn State.
Let me make sure here. Because I thought I just said that they were idle.
Let me check mine. See what it says.
Penn State football. Penn State. They do play Michigan on the 15th, Saturday. So I would be correct.
Okay.
All right. Who we got there? Penn State. This is number 1 and number 3 in the Big Ten East.
I'm going to pick Penn State to upset Michigan.
Todd's going with... I'm going to go with khaki pants.
All right.
Why, I don't know. And they play at 11 o'clock on Fox. Auburn at Ole Miss. Ole Miss is number 2 in the West right now.
I do think it'll be not a bad game, but I won't have to pick Ole Miss.
Okay, Big 12 action. Number 4 in the Big 12, Kansas at last place, Big 12, Oklahoma.
Well, with the way Oklahoma's playing right now, you'd be about crazy not to take Kansas, wouldn't you? But you got to also think Oklahoma's going to bounce back.
Yeah, Kansas is too.
Well, that's true. I think Kansas got a better team than them.
I'm behind on the show. I got busy taking someone to jail.
He's a cop.
Best running QB was Vic. Me and Logan, we're buddies, ain't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I like Randall Cunningham, but like overall, I watched Vic play college and high and pro. He's amazing.
Oh yeah, he was.
Crazy. And he looked weird because he throwed left-handed and made it cool. Let's see. We liked Ole Miss on the last pick. We got Kansas over Oklahoma, 11 o'clock ESPN 2. Auburn plays 11 o'clock on ESPN. Vandy at Georgia. That's just 2:30 on the SEC Network. Be a good game. Our game of the week will be number 1 in the West versus at number 2 in the East. 2:30 CBS.
Well,
1989 is the last time it happened like this.
Is Young playing?
We can only assume.
Okay, then I'm going to pick Bama. But if he ain't playing, no, I'm not picking him. But he's playing, so I guess I'll just go.
But yeah, and we'll just say this here, and I think everybody will go along with it. If Bryce don't play Saturday, I don't see them beating Tennessee.
No.
Period. Next game on 2:30 on ABC, and these next 3 are these 4 are at 2:30. So Georgia hosts Vandy at 2:30 on SEC. 2:30 on CBS is Bama, Tennessee. 2:30 on ABC is Oklahoma State at TCU. Number 3 in the Big 12 and number 2 in the Big 12.
I'm going to stick with my boys, the Cowboys, Oklahoma State.
We're going to split this one. I like the Horned Frogs. Arkansas at BYU.
I think Arkansas is going to bounce back and beat them. You?
No.
You don't?
I think they're in
trouble. They're done?
They're in trouble.
Okay.
It's at BYU too. But if anybody can do it, if Jefferson plays and has a good game, we're pulling for them.
I'm not for BYU.
No, I'm not at all. LSU at Florida. Guys, in this game, I ain't even got a dot by it. It's just don't have the...
I don't know.
5 years ago, this may have been the game of the week. Because Bama has been just putting the stuff into Tennessee for the past 20 years.
Right.
So it's not been the game. This has been the game.
Yeah, oh yeah.
LSU at Florida or at LSU. They play at 6 o'clock on ESPN.
I'm going to pick LSU. I don't know. That's a tough one.
It's
That's
at Florida. I'll just say because they're at home.
Okay.
We'll split on that one. This will give us. We'll get something figured out here. This will be a good game. Is Levis playing? Another question.
No, I don't know. No, they haven't released it.
So we'll make a check mark here. Without Levis, it's Mississippi State. You like?
I'm gonna take Mississippi State.
So I am too. But if Levis plays now, don't be surprised.
This is upset them.
This is going to be. I'm going to put a line beside that. I'm going to put a line beside the Bama game too. We'll put QB question.
Yeah, because I've changed my picks if they play.
Yeah. Stanford at Notre Dame. I just wrote that down because it's a huge historical game.
Notre Dame.
Always big.
Stanford's not as good as usual this year.
And I wrote this game down and put a plus mark by this game, guys. People listening and watching, we thank y'all guys for hanging around with us. Logan says, Brian Kelly looks like he is mean to his puppies.
He's mean to his coaches. Yes, I agree. Did I not say that 5 times yesterday?
Yeah, I think he's kind of known for that.
I mean, every time you get over there, he's raging at somebody.
Yeah. He's having a hard time. But, man, just chill out, Coach Kelly. You got tons of money.
I'm not a fan of
He wants to win. He's competitive. Okay, when he was at Cincinnati, competitive, did a good job, went to Notre Dame.
Which I've never dealt with this, but I'm not a big fan of the guy. If I'm your receivers coach, don't come to me and ask why a guy dropped the ball. I don't know. What did he catch the other one for?
I don't know. He caught one, dropped one. Go ask him why he didn't catch it.
I
I
mean,
guess because he didn't catch it.
And you get into routes, but even that. Okay, he ran that slant route too deep. Well, he didn't the other 4 times, coach. So I don't know what you. I mean,
yeah, he's not a. I don't. He'll figure it out. Then this has got the plus.
He holds them accountable.
Do you like this? This weekend. There's a lot of good games on.
Yeah.
This is a historic game.
Memphis, East Carolina.
Yes, that's always it. Because what it is, it comes on at 6:30. ESPNU, Mississippi State at Kentucky at 6:30. SEC Network. What happens is we're all juiced up on hot wings and beans from 2:30 to about 4:30. 5 o'clock, and the Bama game goes off. Well, we pass out from until about 6, and we wake up, and there's no games on. I mean, at 6 o'clock, LSU at Florida, I'm going to check in on the score.
Right.
But when you wake up, always, in this time of year, you catch this game on. It's on ESPNU. I like going over there and seeing what's going on. And for years, I remember watching this game. It's always just a good game. It's very even matched. Their athletes are pretty close. So now picking wise, we don't have to pick it because I have no idea.
No, I don't know nothing.
But this game's always a.
He's just saying it's a good
23.
game.
I think it went to like 2 or 3 overtimes a year or two ago.
Memphis, East Carolina.
Big. Now your Saturday night game, if you want after you eat your wings and beans for Bama, Tennessee, be ready that night to get out your big bowl of ice cream and get ready to sit down and cover up. It's gonna be a nice, cool night Saturday night. Probably go outside, get your bonfire started. 7 o'clock, Fox, USC at Utah.
I'm going to pick Utah to upset them.
What?
Penn State and Utah.
Damn it,
going
man.
to shake up
What I'm
that.
talking about, Jack. If anybody can.
USC's not been playing great lately. Their offense has.
If anybody can, it'd be them.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't. It would change the Pac-12 around big time.
Oh, gosh, it'd mess it up big.
Ohio State's got the big one by. They got Iowa the 22nd at home. Then they got Penn State the 29th. They got Michigan.
They got
Thanksgiving.
pretty tough games. I mean, that'll get everybody off them a little bit for their schedule. They just play their tougher schedule towards the end of the year.
Yeah, Oregon is off this week. So that's our picks, and I'm going to put this. We'll come back next week. It's right here where it always goes, right here.
We're doing pretty good on our picks this year.
Yeah, right here under the old cup. We don't need that one. Toss it. NFL game, Raiders versus Chiefs, Monday Night Football.
We got 3-0 here.
Packers, Giants. Aaron Rodgers, 25-39, 222, 2 touchdowns. Randall Cobb, 100 yards. 14-yard average.
Been playing a long time.
God, he's good. I don't even know. I thought that
I
thought it was a misprint.
No, I bet he's been playing 15 years.
Colts take care of business. Old Matty Ice Ryan, 251, 0 touchdowns, 2 picks. Field goal wins the game in overtime against the Broncos of Russ Wilson, 21 for 39. He had 274. They throw 2 picks.
My picks.
Falcons, Mariota.
Come back. They're down 21-0 in the 4th.
Yeah, 21. They
In
lost
the
21 to
late third,
15.
not bad.
Brady put it on them, 21 to 15.
Yeah, he threw for 350 yards.
4.5, 56 yards rushing. About as many yards he had his whole career against Alabama.
No, he's done well everywhere he's ever been, except for the Alabama game. I mean, of course, they were one-dimensional then, so they just work on stopping him.
Titans beat Redskins 21-17. And my Bills Mafia, baby. Allen throws for 424. 4 touchdowns, rolling on 4 foes. Wide receiver, Gab Dan is 171, 2 touchdowns.
Josh Allen, best player in the league.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Hey, and Pickett, Pittsburgh quarterback.
Yeah, he got his first start today.
327 yards in a professional football game. I think that's
How
pretty
much?
good.
327.
That's a good day, man. He earned some of his money. Now they didn't win, and he didn't throw a touchdown. But
some good red zone defense.
Congratulations again to Cam Welch, Player of the Week.
Yes, definitely. And
I'll be out there to probably Tuesday. Be out there Tuesday.
Wait just a second here. There we
Oh
go.
yeah, Cherokee County. I seen a thing go by the Lady Warriors volleyball. They won a big tournament. 'Cause I see Bo every morning nearly, and for breakfast, their girls won a tournament Saturday against a couple of out of county teams.
Well, I saw where Scott Ferris boy and Jesse Hutchins won.
Yeah, they were like
They played in a league, a summer league, and
second, third, or something in that.
One of them won the points, and the other one won the overall scoring champion. Then the points.
Yeah.
So I don't. But congratulations to both of them. I didn't really understand.
Yeah.
I guess they played in 2 different divisions.
One was overall over and under, and the other was for like shot count or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a lot of stuff going on, guys. We've been on here long enough. That's about 2 hours. I knew it was going to be a long show. Gosh, we still got a couple people hanging on watching. We appreciate it.
Do we?
Yep. Logan, Mark, everybody, Coach Short, Bun Man.
Shorty Crane, we got to get that Panther out of the Cornwall furnace up
Man
there.
right there, Teddy Whitmire, Big Matt and the Diamond Dane.
Teddy Whitmire, he's a good guy.
Teddy comes by and always likes to check in on us. They got a good team. Coosa's going to make I'm telling you, y'all, they're going to make a run this playoff.
Yeah.
Because they're healthy. And if some teams are not healthy, if they catch you right now and they got everybody locking and loading, Mostella at tailback and John David throwing the ball, Cleat on defense.
Good receivers, good corners. Yeah. I thought their corners were excellent.
You know, 3 or 4 of the kids, when they come across the line and I stop there in the middle and talk to them, they recognize me. Hey, you're Matt and Todd show. They looked at me like, why are you at our game? And I was like, they didn't say that, but you could tell they're like, hey, I know you, you know. I was like, well, I couldn't watch this. Is my home school here, homecoming, and of course I want to check you guys out. I can see them play, and they'll be playing Appalachian.
Be a tough game.
Yep, I'm sure Teddy has got it figured out.
Oh yeah, he does.
Yeah, and good luck to Spring Garden too. They have Donahoe at the house over in God's country. GGG. Cherokee County, Etowah, man, it's going to be a sure enough smoke fest over there. Cedar Bluff is playing by. It's terrible.
God, what a game.
The Napster.
Rough game.
Got to the private school of the Decaters.
He's beat open and by this year.
It's going to be a hard game for Nap.
I don't know. After they played open and by,
he's ready.
For anything.
I think they're ready. And I'm telling you guys, he's locked in to put a new offense in. Not a whole new offense, some new plays.
Some wrinkles. Yeah, he's a good play caller.
Man, I'm telling you, fans of Galesville, pay attention Friday. Win or lose, support that guy. And I think they pretty much do.
Yeah.
I don't hear a lot of crap about Nap.
I don't actually hear any.
Because I don't know who you're going to get. It's just who's going to get a coach at a 1A school to come work for free. I'm telling you, Nap or Allen or Howard, I'm just using them because they're 1A. They could all go to bigger schools and make more money.
Oh, yeah.
Be aware of that. If so, you get to grumbling, I just fired a coach, an idiot. Guys, all 3 of those coaches could go somewhere at a 4, 5, 6, 7A school and make money. But they don't. They stay humble because they stay down in these schools. Brian's locked in that school because his granddaddy. Howard's been locked in at Spring Garden on and off for 20 years nearly. And Allen's built 2 different teams, and he's always wanted. He told us years before at a friend's house at a party, just in regular conversation, boy, if that Cedar Bluff job ever come open, I'd like to have that. It's just a place where I'd like to go, like be at home. I could retire there. They got players. You know, so y'all support your local coaches, win or lose, because it's getting the end of the year, and some of you guys ain't going to make the playoffs. And these are just wrinkles that some teams are just going to have to face. I told a person the other day at a game, there's a hurricane at a school sometimes, and when that storm gets to moving, that whiplash, I'm sorry, but it affects some of you seniors and juniors maybe to have not a great year this year, and it may not be real good next year. But don't look to give horse in the mouth and think there's a better one out there. And if you think you're ready to move on with you and yours to something that's green on the other side, you know what to say. Be careful. Because it's not always greener.
No, not always. Sometimes it is.
Usually not.
It's probably 50-50, isn't it?
Yeah. For my experience, it's about 40-60.
60-40,
70-30. What did Seinfeld say one time? It's more like it's 80-40. And he's like, no, George, it can't be 80. Yeah.
It can't be 80-40.
Well, it just feels that way. It's not quite half, but the other side's a lot. So,
right.
Big game in Center Friday. Yeah, we talked to Coach Bunn about that. It's going to be an interesting weekend. That's what will be our game of the week. We'll have some stuff up tomorrow, and I'm going to find out more about our basketball media day. Try to get it held on 1st November. Trying to get us a cool place to do it, and I think everybody's going to be happy with it, and I'm going to feed everybody and stuff. So don't let us hold you up, Dean. We got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Remember, hit that subscribe button, Dean.
Right,
how do they do that? How hard is it to subscribe to our channel?
You just got to hit the button.
I mean, that's it. Guys.
Hit the button, then put your MasterCard in. No, I'm kidding. You ain't got to do all that.
Yeah, I mean, it's
free, man. It's free.
It is. And all these Spotify and Applecast and all that stuff, guys.
And I'll find out a lot about Kentucky. I'm going up this week. I'll talk to students. Of course,
yeah.
I'm going out of state for the
Yeah, Dean will be back Thursday or Friday morning. Yeah. Thursday night, Friday morning.
Yeah. And spend some time with Mark.
Yeah, he's probably got you a spot already laid out. Banana hammocks. Guys, right there it is. You see what you got to do. Just hit that button up there. At Big Matt 1977 for Twitter. We're on Instagram sharing pics and stuff. So y'all have a great weekend. And next weekend, come out to the game at wherever you're at. Over at Spring Garden's going to be at home. Sand Rock's going to be gone. Cedar Bluff's off. And Gillsville will be at home. And we'll be at Center.
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all have a good week. Keep your heads clear and your hearts full of God as always. And we'll see y'all through the week.
Have a good week, everybody.